Okay.
Hey
All
there,
right.
BookTube.
All right.
Noah. Everyone who reads and must converse is the channel. I got in the house tonight, my proverbial house. Everyone who reads it must converse. Rick Harsch, the owner, chief editor, operations manager. How many hats do you wear over there at your press, Corona Samizdat Press? Welcome, Rick.
I'm a crotchety old fucker, and I'm not gonna make any bones about it. Uh, Thank you for welcoming me.
Yeah, we got fighting Rick in the house, that's for sure. Rick, that is one
I was
badass hat
told
you're
there was
wearing
a
tonight, brother.
goddamn. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? My mistake. Excuse me.
Bring it
Put your
on.
tongue back in your mouth. There's children watching.
That's a great hat you're wearing tonight, brother.
It's thank you very much. It's green. I don't know if you can tell that. I can't get good light in here, for this. But it's an Austrian sort of hunter fedora.
Nice. Well,
For people who hunt women named Fedora.
nice. That's a
They
that's
hunt.
that's I bet you can't get good light when it comes down to it. Rick Harsh is over there in Slovenia, so he is
It's a
many
dark
many
country.
hours ahead of me.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
The light right now is artificial.
yeah,
Believe it or not, they got electricity here now.
nice. So Rick Harsh, I tell you, it's been awesome keeping up with you. And like when I found out what you were up to, you were already publishing Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, and Corona Press was already like a thing. And seeing some of your earlier content, you can hear reasons why you started the press, things like that. But there's a lot of the community that has no idea who you are and these kind of things. And we'll get into aspects of the community a little bit, I hope so, of what's been built with Corona Samizdat Press. It's awesome. But just quickly, maybe give some background for you coming up and the origin of the press, why you started the press, what was the impetus for it, just that. And what do you say?
I don't understand the question.
Maybe give a
I,
little bit of your
that
background.
was that was me being a difficult person. No, I'll get into that later. Okay. Well, yeah. What happened was, I was with a little pissant press in the United States, but when I'm 62 years old now, and about the time I was turning 61, that the Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, which is now 6 years old, was supposed to be published for about the fifth time, along with Walk Like a Duck. Hey, I have one just like it. That's the one. And then you have Walk Like a Duck. Wow, you should read that. It's all about baseball in Italy.
That's right.
In fact,
Go Braves.
and so those two, yeah, they're going to win tonight or tomorrow, probably. I'm not sure, but I think probably tonight. Anyway, those two books needed to be published, and they were finally getting some attention. But the publisher, and I'm not going to name any Riverboat Books names, but was unable to publish the books, and so I just said, "Well, fuck this." I got to publish these books. I mean, it's enough is enough. I'll do it myself.
Nice.
And because I have had a good arrangement with a press here who has published me in a little bit in English, but mostly Slovene translations. And I called them and I said, I got to publish these books. And 5 days later, I had them.
Nice.
5 days.
Nice.
They arranged it,
Right.
used their printer. I still use the same printer. And you told me you'll show the books, but the only thing I want to tell you something about the press, and this is a little guide for anybody who wants to make a nonprofit organization work. Get your inventory built up. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it sounds good, roll with
Right.
it. So build your inventory. Don't worry about your profit and none of that shit. Just take every dime you make, every book you sell, every bit you got, put into the next book.
Nice.
And so but the only thing I bought an expensive bag made in India out of water buffalo. And here, I'll show it to you. Right here. Here it is.
Nice.
And I was gonna do here. I'm not hugging this in a perverse way. It might look like that, but the screen is. But it's a nice bag. It's pretty big. And I thought, well, I'll just put all my books in here in order of publication.
Sure.
And pull them out. But it ended with. They're in order of publication. I just said that. It ended with the
wow.
Vardaman.
Right.
The Vardaman
flip book.
Or Angel of Sodom only, the large print
nice
edition.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that means it ended with it ended before Broussard's As the Wolf Howls at My Door.
Nice.
And then so there's that. See?
Cool.
It ended with
so
I had to put this in sideways.
I mean, you're the press is prolific already. I mean, the amount of titles that you're offering and that you have coming down the pipe over such a short time is crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed myself. It sometimes if it goes like 3 weeks without a book, I start feeling empty inside. And this last time we went a whole month with nothing. September there was nothing.
Sure.
And we only recently put out 2 books that were entirely the impetus and work of Zach Tanner.
Right.
And so we published his novel, and he does all the Broussard novels. So him and Broussard were published at the end of August. And then only late in October did we put out okay. Late in October, we put out 2 more. And yet, this is the part that's kind of weird for me. It feels like we just put out Cactus Boots.
Right.
What
a phenomenon that has become. I mean, really. So it seems like, I mean, I got a good idea of why you started the press then, for sure. You had interest, you had a drive to get these books into people's hands, and there was an interest out there for them, and then the publisher kind of flaked, so you put them yourself.
I'm sorry, but to take your question seriously, I have to tell you the next step. I did not intend. I didn't know what I was going to do. Chris Villa was going to. He was reading and was going to put out a review of Eddie Vegas.
And he did.
And he did, but there weren't going to be any books for sale.
Right.
The book wasn't going to be published. And so I actually published the book about a month before he did the review. And then I started getting thoughts, which is when, at your age, thoughts are normal. People have thoughts. And there's a guy from Houston here watching. Don't miss the ball game. How are your Astros doing? Give me a garbage can.
I'll let you guys know that during the live here, I mean, I have some questions to ask, things like that, but it is open Q&A if somebody wants to shoot a question out there.
Well, it is. These bastards wanted a mean Rick Harsch. Yeah, right. You can ask anything you want, but
Rick is light on his feet, that's for sure. So
yeah, Muhammad Ali's an idol. No, I wanted to just say that the real impetus for the press, for something that has grown as much as this has in a short time, was the existence of David Vardaman.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time, and I've been reading his stuff on and off for years. And in the last year or so before we published him, there were all these great stories, and I thought, fuck, man, the guy's never been published. This is insane. I can publish him. I have a press. Right. And it came to me as a kind of realization. I needed some money to do it, and at just the right time, some money came in, and that was it. Then it became kind of a habit. You know, cool. Also then to save my books, the Driftless trilogy. That's 3 novels that have been published in France. You know, they're not Idaho potatoes. They're French potatoes. You know, they're French.
Well, I mean,
they're freedom
your
potatoes.
books, especially Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas. I mean, it deserves to be published for sure. And David Vardaman deserves to be published. I mean, dude, one of the greatest, unexpected things that I've come in contact with from your press is David Vardaman's work. What an amazing writer. It deserves to be read. And people will love it when they read it, especially this. April is the cruelest month. So there's
especially that, but
you already had an insider kind of community, you know, with writers, and you came up through the Iowa Writers Workshop. Is that right?
Yeah, but that didn't provide much community,
which I can only assume is a wonderful experience.
Yeah. I mean,
but through that also, Seshu Foster, you have this kind of community inherent in, like just being in the, you're in the thick of it, and then you go into this other side of the business, like producing books and doing this kind of thing, and it's an amazing thing how you've already dropped Vardaman on the inside level, Leaf by Leaf on the outside level, like kind of marketing. That's where I found
behind me. Can you see that? Is that
yes
on the camera?
Yes.
Yeah. Keep your clothes on if you're gonna keep going back and forth.
Yeah. And then you have this community side of it, or marketing side of it, kind of way. That's Leaf by Leaf. That's how I found you and found the press. And then the whole Instagram community. That's awesome. I've definitely embraced the press in a big way. And there's so many people that have embraced the press.
Well, you've embraced it. You've embraced the press in such a way, with such intensity, that we all feel a little uncomfortable.
Yes. Achievement attained.
You're the uncle who just touches us maybe a little too much, but no, you've been number one. But let me, as you talk and you bring up the Writers Workshop, which I could talk about for several hours.
No, let's talk about the press. But
no, but
you can talk about the Writers Workshop.
Well, what I want to talk about, I'm going to do the Bernie Sanders hand. I don't know if I used to do this or not.
Right.
But anyway, what I want to talk about here, Noah, is you mentioned the Writers Workshop and community, okay?
Yeah.
This is Bill Clinton. This is Bill Clinton's thumb. I got the Bill Clinton thumb here. Yeah. But I'm going to do the Bernie Sanders hand, okay? Because I want you to pay attention. This kind of is like, no, I used to do this in the Writers Workshop. Somebody told me this, and I didn't even notice it. But when I decided to break in on a conversation, I had the habit of leaning forward and putting my hand towards whoever was talking like this, so they'd shut up. And I didn't even know and people told me. But the great thing about the Iowa Writers Workshop is that although it's highly overrated, and you're lucky if you find a good adult writer in the program, a teacher or fellow writer. You're lucky, but you will, because there are so many that you'll find a community. But the shit thing is it's a 2-year program and years overlap. I met David Vardaman my first year, his second year, so he was gone. So he's out of my community. But we did have community, but then everybody goes their own way. It was really sad. They all fled, and some people stay forever in Iowa City. You never hear of them again. They're kind of pathetic things like, hey, John Irving lived on this street too.
Right.
So I care about that, and so it's very ironic that I do have friends and people like Seshu, who's read most of my stuff, and I've read his stuff, and David Vardaman, and there are people who I feel like I've lost contact with, but would be glad to see me again, maybe. But yeah. The irony is that I started this press with no sense of any kind of community, got on Instagram maybe before the press, because I was trying to help this other press. I'm not going to name names, but it's Riverboat Books. And, just so you know what I'm not going to tell you. That's, and you wanted, which Rick Harsch? The happy one? The friendly one?
No.
The joking one?
The fighting one. That's what won the vote.
One. Oh yeah, I'll fight that fucker anywhere. Right. I'm not a strong man, but I'm dirty as all hell. You want to see what I got in my pocket?
I don't doubt it, Rick. I don't doubt it.
That's a Spanish pocket knife there. It's very sharp, and you know what it did? And I think this is pertinent. This cut my thumb. And that's what led to me signing the Blood book.
Yes, nice. So if anybody's not aware, there's a blood signed edition of Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas out there. I know where it is. We know where it is.
It's part of a Cactus Boots ritual now. The ritual is gaining. Phil Friedenberg has it, but why did we give it to him? Why did you give it to him? I sent it to him
because the one whose blood it is that has atoned the book suggested that I do it.
Yeah, I know, but why? Why did I tell you? Why Phil?
Because the community of readers is what this is, and that book should belong to no one and everyone.
Okay, I think. Do you think Zach should get it next?
I am 100% behind that for sure.
I think it needs to go through you again though, because Phil said that whoever has it needs to sign it.
If he's blood stamping it, then then it's necessarily gonna happen.
I don't know if he is. He said that he's gonna sign it, and everybody who has it should sign it.
Okay. So back to the press. Look,
so you got to get it back.
America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots has become like a phenomenon. It's an awesome press. Like what you have, we've shown so many books. Vardaman's stuff is worth reading. Your stuff is awesome. The America and the Cult of the Cactus books is a mind blow, and that's something that built out of this community aspect that I'm kind of alluding to here. And when it comes down to it, I mean, it's just like, how happy are you with, like where it's at, where it's going, the projected kind of things like that. And, you said already a piece of advice, just to pour back into it. If you're going to do this kind of thing, just to pour back into it. Is there any other kind of advice in that way? Or just to illustrate how it is for you? Because, people aren't interested in starting their own press necessarily, but they are interested in hearing,
Well, I think, the interesting thing is that we don't take submissions. Although a few people have convinced me to take submissions, most, I think like 5 people have. And one was W.D. Clark, who turns out to be probably one of the top 5 prose writers in Canada.
Nice.
I hadn't read him, but I knew him a
If you
bit
want to
from.
show that one, I don't have that because
Okay, well this is the
the after bag
after
box.
Brossard box. No, it's and then came Cactus Boots, so it's the after the Cactus Boots box.
All right, well, show she sang
It was the first
to
one.
us. She sang. Is that the name?
She sang to Noah. She sang.
Yes. Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And look, this is it's his cover guy didn't want to do it, but he wanted to, and it's mirror image. I
Cool.
thought it was beautiful. Cover.
It is a good looking book.
And he's a great writer.
You have a lot of good looking books, Rick. I tell you, but okay, but stay with the the operations, like finding. You don't take submissions. How are you putting out so many books, prolific, and it's really, really good stuff? I mean, it's amazing.
Ask Philip Friedenberg. I mean, this has been, I've been a writer for 62 years. Open it up, but open it. It's just, it's gorgeous.
It is.
You don't read that book. You just open it and put it down, and read something else, because that looks so good sitting on your table.
I tell you, I love it.
And I still have to give a copy to the guy who painted that. He lives here in Isla.
Nice.
Ukrainian madman with a mad wife.
Robert Belsky. That's right. Edward
I can't find
Belsky.
Hold on just a second. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere at all. I tell you.
Me neither. But here's his Belsky's wife made this.
Nice.
Let me know if it's too close to the camera. It's hard for me to tell what a good distance is.
You can't get too close with your pet monkey, Rick.
But sure you can. Sorry, that was was a bonobo.
Just like what you had said, this is what I was thinking about too earlier, just thinking about talking with you, that you were like, well, how do I come in contact with books and publish these things and whatever? Ask Philip Friedenberg. And it's like this whole thing has been like inspiration after inspiration, multiple people's inspiration. I was inspired to just kind of jump on board and support the press in a lot of ways, and it's just like there's inspiration in the air around Corona Samizdat press. So I will ask.
It's an odd thing to pin down, and the reason I say to ask Phil is because that whole thing is impossible to pin down. But it also is, one of the reasons that book is so powerfully magnetic is that it's for those of you who haven't read it, it's not all sunshine, baby.
No.
But nothing makes you feel better than inspiration to create. That's creativity. Right. And you get that from that book, and you get the effects of it in more ways than one.
Right. And it is almost like a religion. I mean, he had it down right with like the way that he approached what he was trying to do, and I think he executed it wonderfully. Is there anything? I know a lot of it was off the too. Even just this week, man, you published 2 books.
Yeah, that's because I think when you have goodwill, I got Johnny.
Johnny's here, and WD and Clark is here.
WD. Well, too bad, WD. You just missed your own book.
He was here. He's seen it. He saw it for sure.
Oh, okay. I thought he just said howdy, but anyway, there it is. There we go. There we go. Mirror image.
Do
Mirror
it.
image. Fuck the designer. Do what you want.
Yeah,
So
it's great stuff.
I really believe that if you have the right open attitude, you draw great people.
Right.
And Zach Tanner, and well, okay, the whole Chandler Broussard thing.
I was about to put it up. Yep.
Stephen Moore. I never even heard of Stephen Moore before I found out that he really. I mean, I know Dalkey Archive, but why would I know Stephen Moore? I didn't read his books, his histories, alternate histories of the novel, and I did not know who he was until I heard that he did a blurb for Eddie Vegas. And then suddenly his name was everywhere, and it turned out everybody knows Stephen Moore,
Right.
And now I act like I've known him for years.
Well, shit, I got to read this again.
I didn't know him a year and a half ago.
Sure.
But I bought my back pages. I read his chapter on Chandler Broussard, and Broussard is the kind of writer I would love, I could tell. And so I immediately went out to get one of 3 books: Raging Joy, Sublime Violations, Wake Up, We're Almost There, and As the Wolf Howls at My Door. And none of them are available. They're out of print. I contact Stephen Moore, who knows me vaguely because he kind of liked Eddie Vegas, or maybe he loved it, but he kind of liked it. He's not selling it out as kitchen door or anything, but he likes it. Anyway, the point is that was there a point? Yeah, the point is that suddenly he knows me just a little bit, so that it's not really strange that I tell him I got a press and I really want to read Broussard, and Broussard's out of print, and
nice.
He knew Broussard well, knows The Widow, arranges it, and then someone like Zach Tanner has the same taste that I have, apparently, to some. I quit reading my back pages for that very reason, because it was costing you dearly. I was charging books to your account. Sorry about that. I'm a dirty bastard. So then you have someone who's wildly creative, like Zach, but you also have the world being involved. You have the Canadians. You know how big Canada is?
Crazy big.
It goes
all the way up there, Rick. It goes all the way up there.
It does. It's a big country, and I think WD and Jeff Bursey live very, very far apart.
Nice,
but they're both Canadians
for sure.
And my little to do with the so-called Vesna Radic, because I'm in Slovenia in Europe, and although this country is probably like from Atlanta to Chattanooga, I think that's how.
Right.
How long is that drive?
2.5 hours.
How long is it taking? Oh, okay, that's nothing for us. It's like I think 3 hours would be would take to go from one end to the other of Slovenia.
Nice.
So probably.
Yeah. Nashville.
Not as far as. Not Knoxville. Not Knoxville.
No,
though.
Nashville.
I don't know.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I know that's probably still. I think outer Chattanooga.
Like Orlando. Orlando would be 4 hours.
Yeah, but why would you go there?
Right.
It can't even be used as an example.
I don't think I've ever done it. So this is awesome, Rick. the Swinburne stuff, if you want to say some stuff about the newest thing that you got on the press since you brought it out just this week. And I mean, I don't know much, but Zach Tanner has been showing a lot. He's another part of the Instagram community that is like Corona Samizdat is like an Instagram institution almost. It's so cool how you can stay up on everything that the press is doing from a lot of different angles, even if you follow the different Instagram players, because Zach is really instrumental, especially in these two books. You want to just like kind of say something about them, and then whatever you're looking forward to in and like soon, if there's anything like right on the horizon. David, is it the philosophy of creativity?
I don't know. I think Phil and Jeff, because that's it's like what do they call a spin-off, you know?
Yeah.
Of a sitcom, you know?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. But you know, the philosophy of creativity has long been out of print, and it's going to be back in print with some new David Miller stuff. Miller is still alive, my old professor.
Is that they're going next, though? I mean, or is that going to be next for the press?
No. Next is going to be Roberto Arlt's the second half of his double named book, The Seven Mad Men, and this will be The Flamethrowers, which is the culmination of that extraordinary book. In fact, I just talked to the translator today and asked him, you know, I told him I have a good enough introduction to that book. Here comes that hand, Noah. So shut the fuck up.
Right.
But so I need to add a little bit to my introduction. I have to answer the question: can you just read the second half?
Right.
How much do you lose if you only read the second half? You know, and I'm still pondering that. And you know, since I cannot get the first half, and nobody is going to put the two together, which is how it should be presented.
Right.
Riverboat Books has both of them, but last I heard they weren't both available. But that was 10 months ago, so maybe they are most of the time. I have no idea. But I want the translator of The Flamethrowers, who's the only one who's ever translated that into English. I want, and to the everlasting death pleasure of Arlt, this is a guy who didn't know Spanish when he started translating. You know, Arlt would love that tidbit. And the guy did a great job. I mean, I know Arlt. I know how Arlt feels, and he captures that brilliantly. And I'm sure there are lots of mistakes. I've read on Goodreads, somebody said there are a lot of mistakes. I said, well, you know, tell us what they are. You know, we'll change them.
Right. I'll fix it in the next printing, man. It's a small press. Send me a list. Help me out here, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
what the hell? All you want to do is complain.
Well, yeah. The thing is, you know, maybe there's a certain perverse politeness to it, because you know, if they're reading, you know, Lesbia Brandon, you know, I've come across some typos, you know, and if this weren't my press, I'd be writing the press saying, hey, you know, in case you do it another print, you know. Right. They'd be happy to tell me where there's typos.
Right, because next printing, fix it, and who gives a shit? You know, it's like all good.
I won't. I don't want to do it now because I don't want Zach to feel bad knowing there's a typo. You know. Well, also, I mean, I'm a lazy cover.
You know as good as anybody else that it's almost impossible to get it on a first printing, no typos. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and you know, one thing I have to do here, let's make this ceremonial.
Let's do it.
Because this book was the beginning of the press. I mean, it came out with Walk Like a Duck, but this was the one that I felt really needed to be published more than any. And I put in here, the name of the press is Corona Samizdat because this was being sold at a too high a price. And so I cut it down a little bit. Turned out to be pretty expensive to print these big ones, you know.
Sure.
So, but Corona, it was during the Corona, and I thought, well, maybe people don't have money, so we'll have lower prices. But the Samizdat is, you know, books that are underground books. That's what it means in Poland and the Soviet Union. And so this says here somewhere, not for sale in the United States of America.
Nice.
And I hope none of you have bought it because it would, you know, it says it's not for sale. So that's the underground, and that's why it was called Samizdat. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want some press to get interested and say, oh, it's already been printed here.
Right.
And so but now it is being printed by Zero Gram Press.
That's right.
And I asked the Jim Gower, who's the chief editor of Zero Gram Press, you know, is it time to start promoting it as Zero Gram's book? You know, he said it's okay if you sell, you know, your last few or whatever. So yeah, I got a couple left, but hey, thanks, JD. We were talking earlier about upside down, and I can't do it, so I'm just going to put the book upside down now.
Yeah.
So this book is now officially coming out in March.
Nice.
At $19.95.
Nice. $20. A new edition of Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas out from Zero Gram Press. I can't wait to see it.
And finally, you know, you wouldn't believe this, but you know, a lot of people hate the what do they call this? The ragged right?
Yeah.
You know, the unjustified margins.
Right.
And I didn't care until I found out, you know, that some good friends of mine were just not reading it because they can't stand the ragged right.
Holy crap.
So it's going to be justified.
These prima donnas, Rick.
Yeah.
These reader prima donnas. Your book has to be just right.
Yeah, I know. And you know, but we're that kind of press.
That's not Corona Samizdat, baby. You take that shit out of here, right?
Yeah. No, we're the kind of press where Noah, if you're asking me about the next books, okay? Yeah. Another one that's coming out is Bori Proper, who's very underread.
Cynicism Management. I don't have that one out. I didn't grab it.
It's cool. It's part of a trilogy.
Cool.
Pendulum Pet is the next one.
Nice.
And that's coming out soon. We're going to reprint Bill Clark's first book. And I can't remember what we're doing with Jeff Bursey, but I think we have something.
What's the name of Clark's first book that you're putting out?
Well, God damn it! I wish you. I always.
He's in the chat. He can say. He's in the chat. I don't know. I want to know which one it is though, because I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. I make an order with Corona Samizdat books myself. How I do it is like every 4 books that Rick publishes, I'll make an order with Corona Samizdat Press because I don't want to fall so far behind. But you publish so well. I mean, the press is doing so good, and I know, and the books are so. I mean, all of them need to be read. They're wonderful literature. That I'm going to put out. Arlt is next, and after that, probably, verbatim would be great. But I don't know. I've never talked to Jeff about doing it. I want more Bursey. I want the next Bursey. He's also got criticism. I would like to have his criticism. We also have our book of criticism, but it's going to come out in the winter, maybe at best. Look at your logo, baby.
You look at my logo. Wait till you see the logo on the flamethrowers. It's going to go all the way. It's going to go all the way. That's going to have a great cover. But we're also I've decided to put Olaf Palme into one big book.
Good, nice.
And
are you going to publish it in the big style like this?
Yeah, because the guy who, well, if you look at do you have the red one?
Yeah, I didn't pull it out. I don't have either of the Olaf Palmes.
Okay, you know what a gutter is in book talk?
No, learn us something, Rick.
Well, I hate to make you feel stupid, but I didn't know until
he's just a Georgia boy, sir.
The gutter is this part in the middle, and you're supposed to have space there.
Right.
Look at how much space there is.
Yeah,
there.
Not much.
The guy who did this did several other books without doing anything wrong. This is the most difficult.
In press jargon, I think you need to open up that gutter a little more.
I need to what?
Open up that gutter.
Open the gutter a little more.
Open the gutter.
I'm a gutter fucker. Yeah. yeah, that gutter fucker. Yeah. He did a great job on this. There's a lot of typographical stuff that he had to do properly here.
Right.
And he did a great job, but the gutter's bad.
Right.
And I thought, and then you got the you have the greenie. You probably don't even have the greenie.
I do. I have both.
I'll bet.
But I don't have them sitting on the desk.
Yeah, I didn't pick them out yet. Sorry, no, making fun of you.
It's okay. I realize that everything is a target.
Do you have a toothache?
No. I realize that everything is a target.
Maybe because you're frozen like this on my screen.
Well, it happens on StreamYard sometimes.
Oh, you're moving. You're moving. Yeah. Okay. Well, the green one, you see the beauty of this thing. In the back, you have the death mask
right
in the background as well, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the green one, you can't really see it so well. So the guy who did this, Jason Snyder of Staten Island, I just also contacted him today. He's just back from Mexico, where the vaccination rate is 80%. And I got a question here. It's really tiny print. Hey, JD, can you Skinner Unboxed? Thank you. Yeah, white mythology. That's what confuses me. It's got. I think this is just hilarious. WD's book. I think we're gonna do a paperback replica of the hardcover, which was done in German expressionist style to some degree, with a bit of Dada to it. I mean, it's really cool. He sent it to me before we published him, but I had agreed to publish him, not having any idea. And it's two novelettes or novellas.
Right. Like the David Vardaman flip.
Well, no, those are two novels, and but he calls these novellas. The first one is over 300 pages.
Damn.
I think that's the one called Skinner Unboxed, and nice. I can't remember the name of the second one, but that's over 100. I mean, it's not long enough for a novel as well. But he calls novellas, and the whole is called mythology, I believe. I think. Mr. Dixon, can you fill us in on that? He's from the Isle of Man. A lot of people think he's from the Isle of Wight, but that's not true.
Very cool. Well, I love it. I love it, Rick. Is there anything else you want to say, just like about press stuff that I have no idea about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not doing what it is. Nobody's sitting here that's watching is doing what you're doing, but definitely interested in, operations style, things that go on with owning a press, publishing books, being in literature in that kind of capacity. And if you got anything to say, man, I'd love to hear. I'm going to let you go for a second, or let you just talk for a second.
You're getting that rubber band sound. So I think you just asked me to say something, but I have no idea what. So
I'm asking if there's anything. This is what I was
talking about. It's still happening. It's still happening. WD, I first heard of you through Ed Turner's Biblioclept. Ah, good. Yeah, that's perfect because we have a Biblioclept on our, our logo. So anyway, Noah, you want me to tell about that guy I hit while I was reading while driving?
Maybe. I mean, anything.
Is that what you want?
I'm saying that I don't have any necessary thing that I'm trying to ask you about the press or whatever, but just maybe if there's some things that would be interesting just on that aspect of bringing literature to a community, to the readers community, and you're getting involved, you've been involved, but have this kind of community of writers that are around you as well. And you're this kind of nexus for it now with the press. So that kind of thing is a really interesting aspect, like place to be. So would you like to
I think that? I think that with they want fighting, Rick. So I think what you said just now is bullshit. Absolutely.
Well, I'm pretty good.
If I'm a nexus, I'm a mini nexus, and
sure.
They're the major nexuses are, we don't even know what they are. I mean, if you fart around on what's that Wheel of Fortune thing? YouTube. Yeah, you go on YouTube and just put booktuber. Now I heard this guy. I don't know. It was like Shepherd Turds or something. Was his name? And do you know who I mean?
I might know what you mean. You're talking about a podcast?
I'm talking about a book channel called Shepherd Turds or Shep Turds, or I don't know, but the guy was really good. He was talking about Mark Danielewski.
Yeah,
and it was a brilliant 26-minute talk about Danielewski. Now that guy, he certainly, I don't know, he looked, I think he probably in his late 30s. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. He has some community.
Sure. I know who you're talking about. I saw that video.
What is it?
Sure.
It's not Sherds?
I mean, it's
Sherds.
Look, turds. You got to take the Shepherd Turds and squish it together more. Sherds.
No, because I know it's 2 syllables. It could be
Sherards.
Shep Turds. Tube. I know what it is. It's tube. It's Shepherd Tube. Yeah. Dude, Shepherd Tube. Shepherd Tube. Yeah. But he was really good, and we gotta be a little less, it's good to be animated a little bit because we have sat on our fat asses and suddenly the dog comes in. Are you calling me? No, go exercise.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're sitting on our fat asses and we keep saying shit like, yeah, that Via is the best. Yep, Via is the best. Via is the best. Well, this guy might be as good as Via.
Sure.
And there might be 17 of them.
Dude,
and Via
sure.
is an
That guy Sherd's podcast, he comes from I believe like a production and podcast kind of experience. And he came right out of the gate.
You needn't blame him for that, Noah. I mean, if that's his background, I mean, I'm from a white racist suburb,
Right. Well, I mean, he came right out of the gate with like some content that has some production value and things like that, and also a level of like literary criticism background.
Sophistication, I said.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's also in Warsaw. He's in Warsaw.
There we go. Look,
I think he's in.
It's Sherd's Tube.
Well, I got not with my glasses. Shepherd Turd. Yeah, look, he's great.
Look,
I really love his.
Those of Lost Libraries. Look, he's further north than you. I think he's in Norway, or if not Norway, he's in Iceland.
No, he's in Warsaw. He's in Warsaw. He just moved. That's why he started talking about House of Leaves.
Rick, I swear to God. See, this is why we're so far away. We're so far away, yet so close, brother.
Yeah, I know. And I'm closer to you than any of my blood uncles.
Yes.
And also, they're all older than me.
Hey, man. This has been awesome, but we're coming up on the end here, so I just want to say straight up.
Wait, what makes it the end?
Timing. I need Zelda. I need to get with Zelda. She's going to be dressing. It's Halloween, so she's going to be dressing up like her favorite singer, and I need her to go get me that candy. Okay, I need candy.
Okay, her favorite singer. I can't see her as Bob Dylan. I just can't see it.
Sadly, that's not her favorite singer.
Well, then that's why you can't. I mean, everybody's got a different way with their kids. And I don't like hitting my kids. I never wanted to ever hit a kid. I swore I wouldn't hit my kids. But when they stopped listening to Bob Dylan, they each got a spanking.
Zelda, you're going as Bob Dylan this year.
Yeah, I used my fox whips to whip them both. And yeah. How do we know how many of these cocksuckers are watching, Noah?
You can't know, unless I tell you, but I know, and there's 10 people watching right now.
10 sons of bitches that want to fight in Rick Harsch?
That's right. Yeah. They want to fight obscene Slovene Rick Harsch. So
they're just one last thing about Slovenia.
Bring it.
I don't know if you caught this, but there's a lot of football clubs here, what you call soccer, and they all have their club hooligans, and but there's so many small towns here, small cities, small towns, that we have more. Who wants a question? Yeah, ask a question. I was just going to talk about how there's, if all 10 of you come here, we could fight the hooligans from down the coast at Lucia.
And we'll see who's the last man standing.
I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one watching.
Nice.
And I got thanks for all of it. Very nice. Yeah, we got enough to fight. You want to fight in Rick Harsch?
Gregory Buttocks is our troll for the evening. Rick, check this out.
What?
Gregory Buttocks is our troll.
I am a chef.
I'm a chef. I'm currently working on a cookbook involving the bodily fluids. How do I boost sales?
How do you boost sales? Well, how frank are you with your table of contents? Lust Suds Ultra has DNA in it,
right? And it tells you straight out.
Yeah, yeah. So I think how can you boost sales? Every flea market needs you. That's one thing. Every flea market is if it
Needs
doesn't
you.
have you, then you know you, you got to find a way to create flea markets every day of the week. Get out there with your book, with your fluids, and and make sure you sperm of the week drink, or sperm week, and you
Right.
just concentrate on sperm,
Blood week,
and when it
mucus
comes
week.
to like, okay, let's talk.
We do a week.
Make it clear: is diarrhea dessert? Is diarrhea a liquid or not? Be
Yeah,
controversial.
that's
Don't
right.
be afraid.
See, look, and Jazz
Um,
Jazz Nakar, Jazz Nakar says, down to fight, baby. Me,
Yasna.
Yasna, and I would be in the front. All right, ready to get our ass kicked or kick some ass one.
Yeah, great. All right, great.
Do you want
We could
to?
also just join the Isla. The Isla, they're called the hooligans are called the Isla Ribari, which is fishermen.
Nice.
So we could also join them against the Ljubljana Green Dragons.
Hell
Do this
yeah.
a little bit. They actually set one of our guys on fire.
I was born ready, baby. Born ready.
Did you hear what I just said, though? The Green Dragons set a Ribari on fire like 3 weeks ago.
Damn.
And that's the backstory of something I posted recently where the hooligan cops were faced off with,
Yeah, they were just
they were
posted
afraid
up
the Green Dragons
and
were gonna
watching the groups, the guys getting rowdy.
Yeah, and the truth is, the reason that it was of concern is that the week before, the Green Dragons had been set upon, or the Green Dragons set upon the Ribari and set one of them on fire.
Damn.
If you look on live satellite and then you see this meteor going across Slovenia, that's that hooligan from Isla.
Damn. Hey man, it goes down all over the place, man. So tell me, is there anything else you want to say about the press, or anything you wanted to touch on that we didn't yet? But if not, then I'll just say thank you.
I would like to, even though I don't like the human species at all. I read Choran now.
Yeah, right.
Thanks to one of you, and in the bathroom, and he just cracks me up. I mean, I read him for comic relief. That's how dark my view of human nature is. So when I am having the time of my life dealing with the book people who contact me and on Instagram. I mean, it's just fucking fantastic. You got, you pick one of them. Who's Christopher Robinson?
Oh yeah,
Robinson.
Yeah,
I mean, in addition to being a great fan of the press,
great guy. He's a great guy.
Great reader, brilliant guy.
Yeah,
he plays the fucking banjo.
Yeah, man.
And you know who listens to him?
Me.
This guy's son.
Yeah.
This guy's son.
Right.
2-year-old, almost 3, I think.
It's awesome.
Joao Hayes is going. Yeah, here's the European writer of the future, Joao Hayes. He's we got Philip Friedenberg. Barteman and I are too old, so don't get on our wagons. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means. But,
don't get on my wagon. I'm buying a wagon tomorrow.
Watch for this guy and Zach Tanner. I think he's as unpredictable as they come and as talented as they come.
I mean, you may be a bit more
Johnny.
unpredictable.
No, I think Zach's got me there. I don't know. I've kept my balls in my pants this whole interview, and some people out there don't know me.
I would have already been expecting that, Rick. I was already expecting that. I'm talking about unexpected.
You know that guy, the Australian guy who what the podcast? You know his name?
The Chatting Lit podcast.
Was that what it's called? New one, a relatively new one.
The Bookish Tank.
Yeah.
His name is Dave.
No, not Dave.
His name is Dave.
I'm talking about the Australian guy.
Waste Mailing List.
No, the guy I just did one a podcast. It just came out this
Zero
week.
Pod.
Yeah,
I heard that.
I think that's it. You know his name? I forgot his name.
I can't bring it to mind right now. I don't listen to much podcasts, to tell you the truth.
You wouldn't believe how many people have watched it.
Sure,
it's amazing. And,
I mean, some people that's how they consume their media now. It's just podcasts. They just listen to a lot of information.
I mean, I thought we were beyond the radio age, but it's astonishing. And all I wanted to say is that I asked him. We had to do it twice. The first time, I don't know, it went off into mist or something, or blew up. Anyway, the second time, by then I knew that I could see him part of the time, but I distracted him not too much, so he blanked me out or something. But anyway, I knew it was only oral. So I did, he has no idea, but I did a strip and I did all kinds of, I ended up that podcast naked and sweaty.
Yeah, man. And I mean, who's not down for oral,
No, aural. AURAL.
Oh, I was on a whole different wavelength there. Sorry.
In Atlanta, it's all oral.
That's right. That's right.
If it exists, you suck it.
and if you can, you suck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's right.
Man, you can just suck it. Yeah,
on that note, right. Hey Rick, this has been a blast.
I was trying to say thank you to all you people.
All blast.
10 times 10 times 10 of you.
Get it while you can. Get it while you can, because it's about to be out on Zero Gram Press. This edition will never be available again.
Wait for Zero Gram.
Wait for Zero Gram, but get this one too. Bye bye.
3 cheers for Zero Gram.
3 cheers for 0 gram, baby.